Hello and a very warm welcome. Driver ratings for the Monaco Grand Prix. 1 being awful, 10 being fantastic, all 20 drivers covered. Let's get into it. We'll start with, who should we start with this week? Sergei Sorokin. 2 out of 10. Better quali by Sorokin, but his race was over as soon as he got the penalty. You've got to have the tyres ready for the race. 3 minutes, you get the 3 minutes, and they didn't have the tyres on, so he gets a penalty, and that was his race done. Lance Stroll, 1 out of 10. Horrific. Absolutely horrific. All weekend, pitted about 4 times in the race, got a puncture, was just in the pits most of the time, letting back markers past. Absolutely horrific for Williams. They're honestly so bad. Brendan Hartley, 5 out of 10. Was having a good race, but then was having a good race, P11, and then Charles Leclerc has a brake failure, smashes into the back of him. Yeah, I thought Brendan Hartley was having a better race than normal. So yeah, I give him 5. On to his teammate, Pierre Gasly, 8 out of 10. Good qualifying, great race for P8, and he has a terrible record at Monaco, and he's got points. In GP2, I don't think he finished, so yeah, great F1 debut at Monaco. Now, highest rating of the weekend, Daniel Ricciardo, 10 out of 10. Absolutely superb all weekend, fastest in every session, superb pole position, fought power issues for 75% of the race. If Schumacher or Senna did that, we'd be talking about it for years, but let's talk about it. Daniel Ricciardo, you can't get any better, 10 out of 10. On to his teammate Max. Max, I'll give 5 out of 10. And I've boosted him up a bit because obviously he had the crash in practice 3. Couldn't do qualifying, but a great comeback in the race. Great overtakes, good comeback for points. Red Bull should have been 1-2 quali, 1-2 the race. So I'll give Max 5. Just for the entertainment in the race, it was a good comeback for points. Now on to one of my favourite drivers, Charles Leclerc. 4 out of 10. Average weekend for the home favourite. Decent race, but then the brakes failed. He was all over Brendan Hartley, 12th place, trying to get into 11th. Came out the tunnel, brakes failed, smashed into Hartley, and they were both out the race. Ericsson, again 4 out of 10. I didn't think he was too bad this weekend. Bad qualifying, but a good race. Obviously with Leclerc hitting Hartley, he was running 13th, that boosted him to 11th. So just missing out on the points. Stoffel Van Dorn, 3 out of 10. He seriously needs to up his game. Otherwise Lando Norris could be coming in, who's an F2 driver. Because for me, Van Dorn's not doing that much. He just needs to improve. No one talks about Stoffel Van Dorn. So for me, he needs to up his game. Alonso, I give a 5 out of 10. Wasn't his fault. Good qualifying. Qualified P8, I think it was. Was it P8? No, P7. Qualified P7. Gearbox failure. He was guaranteed points. He was running P8, I believe, and his gearbox went, so that's not his fault. So I give him 5 out of 10. Right, on to the Haas boys, and we'll do these two together. As you know, I've been a great fan of Magnussen. I think he's been superb this year. My driver of the season, but absolute shocking weekend for Haas. Grosjean and Magnussen, 1 out of 10. Awful all weekend, no pace. Shocking weekend for Haas. They've been superb, Haas, in the first 5 races. Obviously, Grosjean still yet to score points. And it was just a bad weekend for Haas. No pace whatsoever. Carlos Sainz, 6 out of 10. Great qualifying, but struggled in the race with tyres. He scored a point, but Hülkenberg beats him in the race. And one thing I will say for Carlos Sainz is showed great teamwork. Hülkenberg was obviously quicker. Sainz was struggling on his tyres. He let Hülkenberg pass, so he played the team game. On to Hülkenberg, 7 out of 10. Mr. Consistent with another brilliant race. Long stint on the first tyres. Pitted. And then obviously the good teamwork by Sainz led Hulkenberg up the road. Right, on to Ocon. Here we go. Esteban Ocon. I was going to give him 9. Best of the rest all weekend. Superb. I've dropped him down to 8. Like I say, best of the rest in qualifying, best of the rest in the race. But to move over for both Mercedes in an F1 race is an absolute disgrace. So I've knocked him down for that. You can't be doing that. In hindsight, he's thinking, I'm not fighting the Mercedes. I'll let him pass. I'll get best of the rest, which he did. But in hindsight, he could have had a fight with Valtteri Bottas at the end. He caught Bottas at the end. So if he fought harder against Bottas, instead of just letting him pass, you never know. Sergio Perez, 4 out of 10. Pit stop cost him big time. Very good qualifying, but Butch pit stop cost him hugely. I think he finished... Where did he finish? P12. So yeah, pit stop cost him big time. Right, we're going to do Vettel, Kimi, Hamilton, Bottas all together. 6 out of 10. The top 6, they qualified and finished the race where they qualified. So I'm going to give Bottas, Hamilton, Kimi, Vettel all 6. Solid all weekend, nothing spectacular. They finished where they started. What else can you say, really? It was a poor Monaco Grand Prix. What I really didn't like about the Monaco Grand Prix, they're not pushing 100%. You've got Ocon letting people past when we're racing, or supposed to be racing. And then most of the race was all about tyres, all about tyres, all about tyres. So there we go, all 20 drivers covered. On to Canada we go. Who's got the highest ratings this week? It's Ricciardo with 10. Gasly gets an 8. Ocon gets an 8. And then the big boys all get 6. The reason I've given them 6 is because they're expected to do that. They're in a good car. They're expected. Like, I don't see they've done anything spectacular. Daniel Ricciardo's done something spectacular. Nursing the power issue for most of the race. Fastest in every session. So, there we do. There we go. Monaco done. Qualifying race, driver ratings. On to Canada we go. And who has got a phenomenal record round there? Oh yes. Hopefully he can win. And yeah. See you next time. Adios.